Hello from San Francisco, California. We're live at Oracle Park. MLB The Show has interleague action for you this afternoon. It's the New York Yankees taking on the San Francisco Giants. With my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Schaumburg. Well, Singy, as we come into this one, it's all about the sweep.
Yeah, and anytime there's a chance for the Bruins to come out, the pressure is definitely on. We'll see if they can find a way to salvage at least one in this series.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. And on the hill for the Giants, Logan Webb. Singy, he's a guy that can rack up a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, Boog, this is a guy that struck out over 200 batters just a year ago. So he's definitely one of those guys that's got ridiculous swing and miss stuff. Hitters have to make a decision early, and that causes them to many times guess wrong and end up missing the baseball. But when you got a guy that's taking the mound that has the ability to send guys walking back to the dugout, it can be pretty fun to watch, and hopefully that's what we'll see in this one.
The 1-2. Backed off the plate that time. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Right fielder Aaron Judge.
And time now to check out the New York Yankees lineup. It features a great veteran presence, Jorge Posada.
Boog, what a great talent. I mean, the kind of player who can dominate a game at times, be a perennial all-star. He's going to take home some hardware as well. I mean, he's one of the best in the game today and always fun to watch.
Here's Judge now. Strike three, and that's 2 in a row.
Well, anytime you can punch out the top two guys in a lineup to start an inning, got to be feeling pretty good out there on the mound, because when you think of just having a distraction, table setters on the base paths, and all of a sudden you're dealing with the number 3 hitter, any distraction can cause you to serve up a cookie, and instead of it being a solo shot, it's a 2 or 3 run homer.
Up the middle. Now the throw to first on the run, and very nicely done for the out. Now it's the Giants' turn. No score. You're watching San Francisco Giants baseball on the show NorCal. Back here at Oracle Park, and starting for the Yankees, the right-hander Garrett Cole. Lots of punch-outs, a real strikeout artist, Singing.
He's racked up over 2,000 strikeouts in his career. He's such a competitor out in the mound. So fun to watch him work. I'm excited for this one.
Stepping in, Monty Irvin. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. They're so reliant on the matchups nowadays, Chris, and it's huge when you don't have to sit a guy or platoon him.
When you can hit, both sides in terms of pitchers' arms, you're a guy that it's hard to take out of the lineup, and I think it's very important today when everything is under the microscope.
That one misses. Ball 3. That's a laser base hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
Everything came together perfectly for him right there. You see a ball come off the bat like that, you know it was pretty much a perfect swing. And for me, I start wondering, and I'm looking on the computer, what was the exit velocity? This time 106.
Now the number 2 hitter, Willie McCovey. Swing and a miss. 2-2. That's
ball 3.
Full count now. Fouled off, and they'll do it again. So a walk puts runners at first and second.
Well, interesting. He went with the off speed and walked the hitter. Man, you got to challenge the guy with the fastball.
Here's Rafael Devers. Down and in, moved his feet. First and second, no outs. Here in the 3rd and final game of the series. He fouls it off. We'll do it again. And that'll load the bases.
Take your base.
2 walks in the first has to be some cause for concern. I mean, you're talking about a guy you want to pitch deep into the ball game. It's not going to help with the pitch count right there. They can't afford to hand out free bases at this rate.
Now, Orlando Cepeda skips in, and excellent work to corral that one. Could have been dangerous. All loaded up, dangerous hitter at the plate. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. 1 runs in. Here's the throw. It's offline, and he scores. It's 2-zip.
Well, there you go. The RBI machine. Another clutch run scoring at bat.
Yeah, he's been so good in these situations. Call it clutch if you want, but his resume speaks for itself. First and second, no outs. Willie McGee, the next Giant to hit. The 1-1.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
Fastball for a strike. He goes down looking.
Batting 6th, second baseman.
Here's the Giants lineup. And Chris, a great matchup in this one. An ace caliber arm in the hill against a deep lineup.
You said it, Boog, and I'm really excited to see how this plays out. The kind of talent they'll be facing, these hitters have a tough task ahead of them. Should be really fun to watch, though.
2 aboard with 1 out. Luis Ariz stands in. On the ground, right side, but that rolls foul.
Good slider down and in can be so hard to get on plane with. You're better off taking that pitch.
Two on, 1 out. Liner snagged at first.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
Willie Adames stands in.
Ball, that's low.
2 on 2 outs. That one found hard the other way.
Really great change of speeds. He goes off the off speed to the fastball, and the hitter doesn't know what's coming next.
Comes a 2-2. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. We head to the second from San Francisco. San Francisco leads this one 2-0. This is Giants baseball on the show NorCal. And we're back with all eyes on a potential sweep. Keep the brooms in the closet for now, though, Singy.
Well, they say the hardest game to win is the final one, and we can see why, Boog. The desperate team tends to come out swinging, and that's what we've seen today.
Here's a 1-1.
That's ball 2.
Right through there for a strike.
He's trying to stay away from this lefty, knowing that a lot of left-handers like the ball down and in.
The 2-2 on the way. Got him swinging.
Oh, this guy's been pretty much a non-factor so far this weekend. Very little in the way of impactful at-bats and quality at-bats, and let alone contact. That's the 6th time they've set him down on strikes in the series, so no doubt frustration mounting and very high right now.
Jorge Posada, the next to hit. Swing and a miss as he was out front that time. Webb, certainly one of the best strikeout pitchers in the game, and double-digit strikeouts are not out of the norm in his starts. Worm burner into the outfield for a knock. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
He wants to give the bullpen the day off and the defense behind him, because he knows he can strike anybody out. And the way that hitters are swinging, they're trying to lift, trying to get the ball in the air. He's going to take advantage of that.
Now here is Paul O'Neill, and he swings over the top there. There's a process too, right? The way he goes about setting up hitters.
Yeah, and he's coming right at you. He's going to get ahead in the count. And when you're a hitter and you find yourself 0-2, 1-2 with a guy who has 3 to 4 pitches that are nasty, you are very defensive. And he plays upon that in many.
Makes the catch for the second out. Dives for the bag. Got him. Double play. It's the Giants 2 and the Yankees nothing. Back here in San Francisco. Now it's the Giants catcher, Patrick Bailey. The 1-1. And that one fouled off. Here's a 1-2. And he couldn't hold back. He's rung up on strikes.
Batting ninth, pitcher, Logan.
Logan Webb, the next Giant to hit. 1-1 now. And it's fouled away. Singy, he wasn't real sharp in the first, got hit around, but really more so, didn't throw a ton of strikes.
Well, he's just got to find a way to settle down. He was clearly fighting himself out there, not really finding the strike zone, walking batters. So we'll see if he can get back on track and fill up the zone a little bit more.
Swing and a miss. And that's 4 strikeouts.
Up next for the Giants, right fielder.
Back to the leadoff spot of the Giants lineup. Monty Irvin will hit next. Two down, nobody on. Swings through it for the K. And he strikes out the side here in the second. After two, it's a 2-0 ball game. All set for the start of the inning. And stepping in for the Yankees, Derek Jeter. Pitch misses.
That's down.
Ball two. Swings through that one for strike two.
Definitely not a pitch location you're expecting up there as a hitter when you know the guy's got a good sinker ball. If he can get in that location, boy, you've got to look top to bottom, and that's going to make it very difficult to hit.
This one in the air, right field.
No,
That
that's
was foul, and he'll see another. Here's the 2-2. In the air, right field. And it falls. So a man on base to start the inning.
Batting eighth, third baseman,
Greg Nettles digs in now. And a 1-1. Right there for a strike. The 1-2. That one way inside.
Straighten him up a little bit.
Jeter aboard here at first with nobody out. That one misses, and the count's full.
So here we go. Base runner at first. Could be running on the pitch. He's got good enough speed to steal the bag to get in scoring position, even if it's a swing and miss at the plate.
Tied him up on a fastball inside. Chris, he looks locked in on reaching a milestone we know has been coming up for him.
Yeah, Boog, 2 to go, and he'll move up into a new echelon for career days. Pretty special when you get to watch a pitcher have a moment like that.
One out man at first. Garrett Cole stepping in now for the Yankees. Here's a 1-1. Out towards right center field. Irvin under it. Makes the grab.
Up next for the Yankees,
and here's a look at how he's using his pitches in this one. Back to the top of the Yankee order. Stepping in the long ball threat, Lou Gehrig. Now quick throw to first. Jeter back in on a dive. Ball to strike. The pitch. Hammered down the right side, but foul. Inside.
That got him. First base.
He had him 1-2, and he ends up hitting him with a pitch. First and second, 2 outs. Here comes Aaron Judge.
When he steps into the batter's box, the comfort level looks so high. It doesn't matter what kind of delivery that pitcher has, what kind of velocity, what kind of secondary stuff. He is so settled in there. He owns the home plate area.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Yanks strand a pair. They trail it here 2-0. Back at the ballpark, and in this series, it has been lights out on the mound as we take a check of the numbers. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and he got him to chase. That one off the mark. Ball 2. Another one. That's 5 straight strikeouts.
Oh, there he gets the slider in on his hands, and it just eats him up. It's hard to get the bat around on a pitch like that in tight. You just feel like you're crowded on the inside part of the plate. Can't get any extension. That's one he definitely should have laid off of.
The 1-1. Now
That's a
one
ball.
missed. Fouls one off. 2-2. Strike 3, and now 6 strikeouts in a row.
With that kind of velocity and elevated fastball, even if it's still in the strike zone, can be tough for hitters to get on top of.
And now Orlando Cepeda. 2 down, nobody on. And a foul ball. Well, Chris, through the early stages, he hasn't been very efficient in terms of the pitch count. He's going to need to get some quick outs if he's going to get deeper into this game. In the air, left field. And that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. On to inning number 4. It's the Giants 2 and the Yankees nothing. You're watching San Francisco Giants baseball on the show NorCal. Thanks for tuning in. Sweet warning, Singy. Sweet warning.
Not so fast, though. Seeing quite the battle so far. It's always toughest to close out a series because pride kicks in on the other side.
One now. And there's a foul ball. Stays alive. That one lifted to left. One down.
Up next for the Yankees, second
Jazz
baseman,
Chisholm Jr. now.
Chisholm Jr.
And a 1-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball.
Inside, ball 2.
The Giants up by 2, top half of inning number 4. Battling here as he fouls it away. High fly ball down the left field line. Way back there. And it's into the bleachers. Out of here. He'll touch them all. His first homer of the year, and they're on the board. It's 2-1.
So frustrating for any pitcher. Finished outside the zone, and he still managed to get punished with a home run. His bat looks like it's in the zone for such a long time, and that gives him the ability to get barrel on it and hit the ball out to any part of the park.
One down. Now at the plate, Jorge Posada. And that skips in the dirt. Here's a 2-1. way out front for strike 2.
This guy's sink has so much drop in it. It's almost like a split finger fastball. Instead of just weak contact and balls on the ground, he gets swings and misses.
Got him. That's out number 2.
Well executed pitch on the outside part of the plate.
And now the center fielder, Paul O'Neill. 2 down, nobody on. Swing and a ball lifted left field. And that'll do it. Another look at the long ball for the Yankees. We're midway in the 4th. This is Giants baseball on the show NorCal. Back here at Oracle Park, leading off, Willie McGee. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offense aside for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most.
Well, he gets to balls that get by most people at that position. Just really impressive because there are certain times the ball comes off the bat, automatically that team that hit it thinks that they've got a base hit, or they may have extra bases, and he just takes it away.
And they have their first hit since the first inning.
When you go 0 for 5, 0 for 7, 0 for 8, it seems like an eternity, especially to start the season, because that's the one thing. Players want to get that first one out of the way so that they feel like, all right, I'm going to avoid this prolonged 0 for to start the season and get into a slump.
Now it's going to be Luis Arias. And a 2-1 on the way. Runner on the move. Fouled off. He was late. This to center field. O'Neill coming on. Pulls it down and he makes the catch.
Up next for the Giants, shortstop Willie
So up next,
Adames.
Willie Adames. Two balls and a strike. Here it comes. Hey! Right through there for a strike. Man at first, one away. Got him looking for the strikeout. Strikeout number 8.
Well, that event seemed to be over as soon as it started. 3-pitch strikeout. You've got to be better at the plate right there. At least to foul something off, extend that at bat.
The 2-1. Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. Carrying well. Going down. So he just clears the wall, and they add on. It's 4-1.
Took on the big part of the yard for that home run and just barely got it over the wall. I thought for a second he brought it back out there too. Gave it a great effort, but you know, those plays are so tough to pull off, and I'm sure he'd love to have another shot at it.
So 2 down, Logan Webb now at the plate. Swing and a miss. And the count 1-2. Got him swinging for the strikeout. That's his 9th strikeout so far. When the Giants go deep, it's bye-bye, baby. It's now 4-1. You're watching Major League Baseball on the show. Back here in San Francisco, and stepping in for the Yankees, Derek Jeter. The 1-1. Gets him to chase after that one. Swing and a ground ball. Oh, the throw is wild. Around first and hustling for second. And he's into second with nobody out.
Up next for the Yankees.
Well, it's been a struggle on offense for them in this one, so maybe that wakes them up a little bit. You know, an error can certainly give the opposing lineup something to get excited about. You got somebody on base, so we'll see if they can make something of it.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Greg Nettles stepping in now for the Yankees. That one fouled off, 2-2. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. And we're at the top of the fifth. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. And there's a ball. Got him swinging. Picks up strikeout number 7.
Up next for the Yankees, pitcher Garrett Cole.
So now with one away and a man at second. Garrett Cole, the next to hit. The 2-1. Right through there for a strike. The 2-2. Swing and a line drive, and that's a base hit into right field. Stop sign goes up at third. Runners at the corners with one out.
Always a little boost and a bonus when you can get a productive result from the pitcher spot. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
Back to the top of the order now. Digging in, Lou Gehrig. 2 on, 1 out. Pitch misses there. And now 3-1.
Well, they've kept him pretty quiet in this series. Still doesn't have a knock. I know you want to get that first knock out of the way. Maybe more will come, but you got to give some credit to the pitching staff. They've had a great plan against him.
And they're all loaded up.
Maybe a little loss of focus on the mound right there. Pretty much gifted him first base with a quick free pass.
Critical at bat coming up, and in steps Aaron Judge. That one finds the zone. That is strike 2. Action in the San Francisco bullpen. Hayden Birdsong preparing to come on if needed. Henches also getting ready. Ripped into left center for a base hit. One runs in. Another comes in to score. And now they trail by 1. And he'll reach second with 1 away.
Oh, here we are, third time through the order, and this is where we see the OPS jump up. Manager might have to go to the bullpen a little bit sooner than he anticipated.
Manager out of the dugout now, and it looks like we'll see a change on the mound. Logan Webb won't go any further. Just never found his groove, wasn't able to settle in. New arm coming on, back in a moment.
Now pitching for
So the Giants with a new pitcher on the hill, Hayden Birdsong.
And never an easy situation coming in with runners at second and third.
He's got a base to work with, so he doesn't have to be perfect, but he does have to make some quality pitches.
Mickey Mantle will hit next. The 1-1. That one back up the middle, and it gets through. One runs in. Another comes in to score, and it's now 5-4.
Comes through to drive in a pair and give him the lead. He wasn't able to elevate it, but he put a great swing on it. Right on time, good balanced approach, and just blasted it through the infield.
One down, runner at first. Here's the second baseman, Jazz. Runner takes off, and that one fouled off. Ground ball could be 2. To Adames, that's 1. Back to first, and it's over his head. And this ball's going to wind up out of play.
Well, he hung in there in second to get the out, but the return throw to first is way offline. And I have to think the runner coming in the second had a part in that. You can't assume the double play, but because the batter moves up past first, he does get charged with the throwing error right there.
Here's Jorge Posada now with a man in scoring position. Man on second, 2 down. Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. Inning over, although plenty of damage done. So they move out in front after a 4-run outburst. Last half of the 5th coming up. It's the Yankees 5 and the Giants 4.
Now pitching for the
Back
Yankees,
now to start the bottom of the 5th and taking over on the mound, CC Sabathia.
Still a lot of game left, and this game could go either way. So this is a big opportunity for him to get some important outs and try to help carry this lead into the later innings.
Back to the top of the order, Monty Irvin getting ready to hit.
Right fielder, Monty Irvin.
And a count 1-2. Line drive. That's a base hit. And a good start to the inning.
Well, that may end up being an at-bat we go back to later on when this game is over. Pretty much a model swing on that one as he ripped it into the opposite field gap. And I'm sure he's going to be watching that one back on video because that's the kind of swing you want to bottle. So many positives that led to that knock.
Now here is Willie McCovey. And a base hit. Lead runner to second, so 2 on and nobody out.
Oh, just a nice job coming through in a pretty high leverage spot right there. Now a pretty big at bat coming up with a chance to even this ball game up.
High leverage spot, and here comes the dangerous Rafael Devers. Just off the outside edge. Two and 1 now, 2 aboard. That's inside. The possible tying and go-ahead runs on base. Nobody out. Late with the swing there.
Tried to stay back for something off speed. Good job of elevating that 97-mile-per-hour fastball up and out of the zone.
Hit on the ground, might be 2. 1 at second. On to Gehrig at first, double play.
They made that double play look so easy, but it was far from routine. That's the one thing about big leaguers. They make tough plays look simple.
And digging in for San Francisco, Orlando Cepeda.
Ball, that's out.
Tying run in scoring position. Last half of inning number 5. And a big swing and a miss.
Man, he really sells the changeup with that arm action.
Outside. Willie McGee in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. Three-2. Rip to short. In time to Gehrig. And the inning is over. One left for San Francisco. They trail it 5-4. Welcome back. It's been a great game, so let's take another look at the most important moment so far.
Now pitching for the
Adrian
Giants,
Hauser will
number
take over
12.
here.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight
Leading
back
off
into the
for
game.
Yankees,
Paul O'Neill
center fielder,
stepping in
Paul
now for the
O'Neill.
Yankees. And that
Ball
one is
in.
inside. Signs of movement in the Giants bullpen. Sam Hentges, the left-handed reliever, appears to be getting loose. Bivens, a right-hander, loosening up as well. Payoff pitch. That one misses.
That's ball 4.
So a leadoff walk.
You know, Boog,
Up
it's been
next
said these
for
guys
the
are
Yankees,
savages in the box.
shortstop,
You
Derek
can see it
Jeter.
right there with such tight plate discipline.
Now it's the shortstop, Derek Jeter. Hauser, a 6'3" righty, 33 years old, and he was a second-round pick back in 2011. That clips the corner.
Well, that's really the money spot, down and away. If you can locate that consistently, it's going to be real tough for hitters to square that up. That's what you love to see relievers do coming out of that bullpen.
Pitch is in the dirt. Full count now.
Now pitching for the
Spencer
Giants,
Bivens
number
is forced to the
76,
mound after the injury.
Bivens.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Gets a piece and stays alive. Payoff pitch. Got him swinging for the strikeout. Had him way out front of the slurve. One out man at first. And the batter now, Greg Nettles. Here's a 1-2. Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And there's 2 away.
Third time he struck out in this one, and definitely an individual performance you want to flush. He just hasn't looked very comfortable up there. Just one of those days. But when you're still winning the ball game, at least you can focus on doing your part to maintain that lead, getting that W.
The Yankees going with a pinch hitter, Bernie Williams.
Pretty surprised they're going with the pitcher off the bench here, Boog. I mean, they must be trying to save what they have left in terms of position players for later or something.
Pulled hard, but it's a foul ball. That one 95 to finish him off. One left for the Yankees. They lead at 5-4.
Now pitching for the
Back
Yankees.
now for the bottom of the sixth,
63,
and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Fernando Cruz.
And this is an important part of this game. Tight score and still a lot of outs to get. So they're looking for a big outing out of him right here to get some critical outs.
Leading off
Well,
for the
one-run
Giants.
game. Digging in is the switch inning outfielder, Willie McGee. The 1-1. In the air, left field. And a base hit.
Well, that was an important at-bat in this game, so a great job there stepping up to the challenge. Just a bloop hit behind third right there, and that's a really tough play for a third baseman or shortstop to get to, and the same for the left fielder, so he just found a perfect place to drop that one in right there. And now a chance to maybe get creative on offense with good speed on first.
Next to hit, Luis Arias. And a count 1-2.
That's a ball.
Just misses there.
That's one you always want as a pitcher, down at the knees, and it looked to me like he's barking. That's a strike. Doesn't change the call, but sometimes it helps to let that frustration out a little bit.
2-2 on the way. Ground ball left side, could be two. Jeter tossed to second, on to first.
No,
but
he's
it
in
pulls
there.
him off the bag.
Well, he had the chance to turn in two right there, but I don't think he got a good grip on the ball as he tried to transfer from glove to throwing hand. They say you can't assume a double play. I beg to differ at the big league level, but it's going to be ruled as a fielder's choice.
Here's the shortstop at the plate, Willie Adames. And there's a strike. Hit hard on the ground to the right side. Down the line, and it's foul. The Giants with the go-ahead run at the plate here in the bottom of the sixth. Swings and misses, struck him out.
That's about as nasty of a splitter as you'll come across, especially in terms of movement. I mean, that thing tumbles out of his hand and just drops off the table at the last moment. If he keeps it down, it's just so tough to put wood on.
Now it's the Giants catcher, Patrick Bailey. Here's a 1-1.
Ball two.
That's down
ball
and in.
three.
Spencer Bivens in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. Arias leads off first with two down to the inning. On the ground.
No, that's a foul ball.
Foul ball.
Great RBI spot here. Just got to stay focused on the pitch. The runner will be in motion, so something in the gap should definitely score.
3-2 now. Got him. Outside pitch got the better of him that time. So the Giants leave one. Still down a run. It's 5-4. A discussion happening at home plate now, and I think they're making a double switch.
This change for the
Sam
Giants.
Hentges
Now
on the
catching
pitch now
number
as he'll
6,
move into the
Daniel
8th spot in the
Susak.
lineup with the double switch here. Daniel Susak. He'll move into the 9th spot in the lineup. So back to the top of the order. And here's the first baseman, Lou Gehrig. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout.
Well, that slider wasn't even close to the strike zone, and he got him to chase. That's just a bad approach right there. Either he was looking for something else and got completely fooled, or he was sitting all over the slider and just couldn't resist the temptation. But, man, really expanded right there and didn't have a chance of making contact with that pitch.
It's Aaron Judge now. The lefty ready, and a 1-1. Swings through that one. The 1-2. Here's a swing and a drive left field, and he knew it. Aaron Judge with a rocket, his second of the year, and they tack one on the board. It's 6-4.
The sun rises and Aaron Judge hits a home run. That's a pretty normal day in the world of baseball. A breaking ball on the inside part of the plate requires a hitter to stay really square with his mechanics. If you fly open with the front shoulder, there's no way you keep that ball fair. An outstanding job mechanically. He deserves that home run.
One down. And the batter now, Mickey Mantle. Here's a 1-1. Line drive, and that's got extra bases written all over it, and that's going to roll to the wall. Round second, digging for third. The relay throw, not in time.
He's safe.
Up next for the Yankees.
Man, I love the hustle out of the box right there to make that triple happen, and just an absolute laser into the opposite field gap. He was digging hard the entire way.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. steps up for a big at bat. Laser to the gap should score the run. That one carrying, and it's off the wall. Pulls into second. That's an RBI double.
Big at bat to pad their lead up to 3. Absolutely blasted that one into the gap, but just didn't have quite enough to clear the wall out there. Maybe a little more elevation under it and it carries over, but that's a swing you'll be happy with every time.
Here comes the manager out of the Giants dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Sam Hentges departs. It's a 3-run game, and we'll be back to tell you about the new arm in a minute.
Now pitching for the
Eric
Giants,
Miller comes on now.
And we all know about his slider. It's just filthy, man. And one of the better ones in the game, I'd say. Spin rate's very high, and it just breaks a ton.
One out, runner at second. Jorge Posada, the next to hit. Swings and misses. 1-2.
That's a ball.
Man at second. That one is absolutely belted. Dives, but it falls. And now it looks like extra bases. Jazz on his horse coming around third. And they're up by 4.
Well done. Drives in the run.
Up next,
Love how he just kept it simple there. Didn't come out of his mechanics. Nice tight swing. Hard hit ball.
Man at second with 1 away. And stepping in for New York, Paul O'Neill. In the air, left side. McCovey has a beat on it. And there's 2 away.
Up next for the Yankees, shortstop Derek Jeter.
Here's Derek Jeter now with a runner in scoring position. Singy, he's got a history of coming through in the big spots. I know I like to talk about, I'm not sure whether clutch actually exists, but you look at the numbers,
That's out.
and this guy always seems to deliver in those spots. Man on second, 2 down. Jeter tracking that one as it misses the zone for a ball.
Well, I think it's the ability to assess the situation, understanding what the pitcher has, what he's trying to get people out on, and then being able to use the entire field. If you're a guy that can only hit to one field, then you're really not going to be able to come through in clutch situations because pitchers are going to adjust. But because he's able to use the entire field, that's why he's so successful in these situations.
And that's a strikeout looking. Inning ends, and that stops the bleeding. So they get 3 runs on 4 hits. One was the solo homer. Midway in inning number 7, and it's time to stretch. It's the Yankees 8 and the Giants 4. Welcome back. Taking a look at our game summary.
Giants, catcher Daniel Susak.
The 1-1 is fouled off. Fans another, and that's 3 straight strikeouts.
Up next for the Giants, right fielder Monty Irvin.
Now it's the right fielder, Monty Irvin. And that one just missed off the outside edge. Activity in the bullpen for the Yankees. Ryan Yarbrough appears to be getting loose. Fried also throwing. Swinging a foul straight back. Make it 4 strikeouts in a row, just cruising along.
Well, that's the effect of the splitter that you're looking for on the mound. Really nice pitch right there and had him out in front over the top. I'm sure the batter was thinking he was getting something else, perhaps a fastball with a little more straight and velo to it.
A defensive change.
Ryan Yarbrough out of the bullpen now, and he'll go into the 6th spot in the lineup following the double switch. Curtis Granderson, he'll move into the 9th spot in the lineup. Two down, base is empty. Willie McCovey, the next Giant to hit. And he grounds one to the right side. Handles, throws to first. And the lefty reliever does his job. Just one pitch to get the inning-ending ground out. Giants go down quietly. They're unable to make a dent in an 8-4 deficit. Back here at Oracle Park, this offense has lifted them to a lead with plenty of hits so far in this one as we look at the spray chart.
Yeah, it looks like they've been spreading it out pretty well in this one, Boog. Spraying the ball all over the yard. Good team effort at the dish.
Hammered down the right side, but foul. And a Ball and 2 strikes.
Oh, this guy's going to have to slow things down. There's no reason for him to even check swing on that pitch. Was never even close.
Foul ball left side. He'll see another. Two now. And that
Ball
one missing
3.
low. Got him swinging for the K. He didn't make it easy for him on the mound, but they still get the strikeout. Here's the veteran outfielder, Curtis Granderson. Ball to strike. The pitch. Fought off foul. One, 2 now.
Ball, that's off the plate. That's ball 3.
These first 2 hitters really making him work out there. Already 14 pitches this inning.
And a payoff pitch. Got it. That K is his 3rd of the game.
You know, Boog, you often think of sliders more for that horizontal movement, but most of the good ones have both vertical depth and that horizontal movement, and that's what we saw right there. Good drop on the break and got him to swing over the top.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Eric Miller gives way. We'll be back in a minute with a new arm on the mound.
Now pitching for the
Jose
Giants,
Buto
number
into the game.
70.
Well, they need someone to stop the bleed and keep the score right where it is. Seems like a tough task today with the way this lineup is swinging it.
2 outs, base is empty. Lou Gehrig stepping in now for the Yankees. Swing and a high fly ball out there towards left field. McCovey towards the line, looking up, makes a one-handed catch. So they make short work of him there. Last half of the 8th coming up. It's the Yankees 8 and the Giants 4. You're watching San Francisco Giants baseball on the show NorCal. Back here in San Francisco. Out of the bottom of the 8th. Rafael Devers up to hit.
Rafael Devers.
Two and 1 now. Foul ball there. The 2-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Got him. Leadoff man is out here in the 8th.
Up next for the Giants, first baseman Orlando.
Here's a cleanup hitter for the Giants, Orlando Cepeda. Sliced hard but foul. The Yankees leading by 4 here the bottom half of the 8th inning. Fights that one away, still 1-2. On the ground to Jazz. Slings to first in time.
Up next for the Giants, center fielder
Willie McGee, the next Giant to hit. Feels like it's less common today that you see a guy like this. The speed component, the contact component, but lack of power. Foul ball.
I think baseball's starting to understand that those guys are valuable like they once were. They need them in this game today.
Outside low. Now 2-2. Next offering down in the dirt. Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. Two down, nobody on. And a foul ball, he stays alive. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. It wasn't easy, but he earned that walk after a long at-bat.
One of the things about that 2-out walk, the base runner over at first base is going to have a very aggressive secondary lead. So a ball down the line or into the gap will produce a 2-out RBI, and those are the best. That is, if you are the offensive side of it.
Popped in the air, left field, and that's the 3rd out. Through 8 full, it's the Yankees 8 and the Giants 4. This is Giants baseball on the show NorCal. Back here at Oracle Park, we go to the 9th. Aaron Judge stepping in now for the Yankees. There's a 1-1. And Judge spoils that one. The 1-2. Activity in the bullpen. Ryan Walker, the closer, is getting loose. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. And a strikeout for the first out here in the 9th.
Wow, just great bite to that slider. Broke hard out of the zone, and he just couldn't hold up the swing. You know, as a hitter, that pitch is really hard to take, and there's just not much you can do with it. You know that, but you don't want to get rung up by the umpire.
The 1-1 is fouled off.
And that's awfully close. I don't know how you take that. He's seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well right now.
Catcher challenge. We'll take another look. Didn't miss by too much, but it'll stay a ball. That knocks them down to 1 challenge left. Here's a 2-2. And
that's ball 3.
He's really tightening up his hitting zone with 2 strikes here. I love it.
And that's ball 4.
Pitcher base, ball 4.
Hopefully he figures it out on the mound because they're running out of arms in that bullpen.
Second baseman, Jazz Chisholm Jr.
And next will be the cleanup hitter, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Buto in his 2nd season, 28 years old, and he was born in Venezuela. Quick move to first. Mantle dives back in safely. The 1-1. And that's fouled off. The 1-2. Jazz goes down on strikes.
Up next for the Yankees, catcher
Jorge Posada digs in now. Mantle off of first with 2 away. Hammered down the right side, but foul. And they'll do it again. Another 1-2. Into center. Base hit. Now a long throw home. But it's offline.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. So impressive that he didn't get tied up or jammed on that pitch inside. Instead, good quick hands allowed him to get the barrel to it, just shoot it up the middle of the field for that knock.
The Yankees going with a pinch hitter, Alfonso Soriano, looking for a 2-out hit with a runner in scoring position. Runner at second, 2 down here in the top of the 9th. Close, but called the ball. 2 balls and a strike. Challenge from behind the dish here. And that just scraped the zone. The call is overturned. They'll keep their remaining challenge. Man at second.
Ball 2.
Two and 2. Good eye in that spot.
Close pitch there, and he's kind of wondering where it missed. You know, getting a feel for each umpire's strike zone is something that pitchers and hitters really have to think about and work on from game to game, and sometimes from at bat to at bat.
Man on second, 2 down. Fouled off, and they'll do it again. Payoff pitch. In the air, right field. Pretty well struck. That's got a chance. Reaching for it. Makes the catch. Yankees strike for a run on the RBI double. We head now to the bottom of the 9th. You're watching San Francisco Giants baseball on the show NorCal.
Now pitching for the
Back
Yankees,
now as they hand the ball to a fresh arm to start the bottom of the 9th. Number 80.
And you know, bullpen guys can struggle sometimes when they're called upon with big leads because it just doesn't have the same intensity as a tight game. So we'll see how sharp he is. Your mental toughness matters in situations like this as well.
Willie Adames.
The 1-1. In the air, right field. Judge takes it in for the out. And there's 1 down.
Up next for the Giants, pitcher Jose.
Looks like it'll be a pinch hitter. Willie Mays looking to start something with 1 gone. 1 down, base is empty here in the 9th. The 1-1 is fouled off. Stays alive. Goes down swinging for the strikeout. And the Giants down to their final out.
Well, that's a curveball that I'm sure he wants back at the plate. 2 strikes, the sort of pitch you're hoping for, a bit of a mistake, and I'd say in a very hittable location, but clearly the break was enough to get him to swing through it.
2 down, nobody on. We're in the last half of the 9th inning. They're down to their final strike. Slider misses outside. Swing and a ground ball out to short. Throw to first. Ball game. And the Yankees come in here and finish off a 3-game sweep.
Sometimes road trips can be tough. You're away from your family, but when you can win, silence that opposing crowd, it makes things just a little bit better, makes the road trip just a little bit shorter.
9-4 our final score. And the road team picks up the win and picks up a sweep. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long.